Okay, so what we're doing here is expanding brackets. When you're expanding brackets, what you're doing is you're multiplying. You're multiplying whatever's outside the bracket by every term that's inside the bracket. And the key things to remember when multiplying, where you have positive numbers and negative numbers, are that if the signs that you're multiplying are the same, so if you've got a positive number which you're multiplying by another positive number, the outcome, the answer, the value is also going to be positive. And the same if they're both negative. So if you have a negative number which you multiply by another negative number, that also becomes positive. So if the signs are the same, the outcome is positive. If the signs are different, so if you have a positive number multiplied by a negative number, the outcome will be negative. And if you have a negative multiplied by a positive, the outcome is negative. So if the signs are the same, the outcome is positive. If the signs are different, then the outcome is negative. Alright, so what we've got here is we have this 3 which we have to multiply first of all by 2x. So 3 times 2x, 3 times 2 is 6. So 3 times 2x will be 6x. And then we have to do the same with this. So we're doing 3, there's no sign in front of it, it's plus, multiplied by negative 5. So we've got a plus times negative will give us a negative answer, and 3 times 5 is 15. So when we expand that, we're going to get 6x take 15. And there's no further simplification we can do with that. With the second one, we have 2 sets of brackets, and we deal with the number in front of that one first. So it's going to be 4 times 3x, which is 12x. 4 times negative 1 will be negative 4. 4 times 1 is 4. And then in the second set of brackets, we've got negative 3 times x. No sign in front of the x, so it's positive. Negative, positive, signs are different, answer negative. 3 times x, 3x. And then we have to do that times that. So we've got negative 3 multiplied by negative 5. Signs are the same, negative, negative, answer positive. 3 times 5 is 15. Now this one we can simplify further because I've got a 12x there and minus 3x there. You may find it helpful just to put circles around the terms that you're dealing with there. Okay, and although there's no sign in front of that, that means that it's actually positive. We don't always write the positives in. So here we've got plus 12x and then take 3x away. Okay, so that's now telling you on your number line, you're starting at plus 12, you're going down 3, so you end up at 9x. And then these two terms are the same, they're just number terms. So we have negative 4, adding 15 on your number line means that you're going to end up at plus 11. With this one, we've got 5x cubed, and what we're going to do with that is square it. Well, squaring it is the same as multiplying it by itself. So we could write that like that. So we've got 5 times 5 is 25, and then we've got an x cubed times an x cubed. Okay, now if you're not sure about the laws of indices, x cubed is the same as x times x times x, multiplying it by itself 3 times. And what we're going to do is multiply that by x cubed again. So what we end up with is x times itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that's the same as 25x to the power of 6. When you've got a question like this with double brackets, it's the same rules as what we were doing up there. Whatever's in this bracket has to be multiplied by every term that's in this bracket. So first of all, we'll take the first term, x, and multiply it first of all by the first term, x times x, which is x squared. Then we have to multiply it by the second term, which is x times negative 3, negative 3x. So we've done that now, that's been multiplied by every term, so now we have to do the same with plus 7. So we've got plus 7 times x, plus 7x, and plus 7 times negative 3. Signs are different, outcome's going to be negative. 7 times 3 is 21. Now we can simplify this further because we have these two terms here which are both x. That's x squared, so that's a different term. We can't bring that in, and that's just a number term. So the x squared doesn't simplify any further. Negative 3 add 7 is going to take us to positive 4 plus 4x, take 21, and that's as simple as that can go. Question 5 here, what we have to do is we have to rearrange that using the laws of equations and algebra to get the d on its own. In order to get the d on its own, the first thing I have to do is get rid of the brackets. So getting rid of the brackets, I have to multiply that 4 by everything inside. So it's going to be 4d take 8e. 4 times d is 4d, 4 times 2 is 8, equals 7 add 3e. I need to get the d on its own, so first of all, let's get rid of the negative 8e there. I get rid of that by adding 8e, and if I add 8e to this side, I have to add 8e to that side as well. So 4d equals 7 plus 3e, which was already there, and now plus the 8e, which I've added to both sides in order to make it go from that side. I can simplify that further because I've got the plus 3e and the 8e there, which simplifies to 11e. Now I want to get the d on its own, so I now have to deal with that 4. The 4 and the d are joined by a multiply if there's no symbol. So in order to undo times by 4, I have to divide by 4. If I divide that side by 4, I need to do the same to this side. And the way that we do that in algebra is we put it over. So that means divide by 4. And that's it. I've made d the subject of the formula. d equals. So those are brackets. For factorising, we're going the other way. We are taking an expanded term and simplifying it by putting it into brackets. What we're looking for are common factors, numbers or letters that are common to each part. So what we should be able to see there is that 5 goes into both of those parts. 10 can be written as 5 times 2, 15 can be written as 3 times 5. So 5 times 2x plus 5 times 3. Okay? That means I can take the 5 out as a common factor. Once I take the 5 out, 2x is left in that part and 3 is left in that part. And you can just always check that that's right by re-multiplying it out. 5 times 2x is 10x, 5 times 3 is 15. I know that I'm right. Looking at B, common here is 7. I can write that as 7 times 2 plus 7x. So that's got a 7 in it. That's got a 7 in it. So I can take 7 out, leaving me 2 plus x. Multiply it back out. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times x is 7x. With C, here I could write that as 3 times x plus 5 times x. So I can see here I've got an x which is common. So if I take an x out of there, it leaves me 3x. And if I take an x out of there, I'm left with 5. Check, x times 3x is 3x squared, x times 5 is 5x. And then finally, I don't run out of paper, here I've got a number which is common. The number that's common, well, you could take 2 out, but it wouldn't be the highest common number. 4 is the highest common. I can write that as 4 times 3 times x, and I can write this as 4 times 2 times x. So I can take out of here 4 and an x as common to both. So if I take 4x out, then the 4 is gone, the x is gone, leaving me 3x from the first part. And if I'm taking 4 and x out of there, I'm left with take 2. So 4x comes out of the bracket, leaving me 3x, take 2 in. Check, 4 times 3 is 12, x times x is x squared. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8x. And then the other type of factorization you need to do for the higher tier is to be able to factorize a quadratic. Now if we look back up here, what that means is we're going from that form of the expression back to the double brackets idea. Okay, so it's doing the opposite of what we've done up there. And what you're looking for is you're looking for multiples which multiply to give the end number, multiply to give 12 plus 12, and add to give the middle term. Okay, so I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to give 12 and add to give 8. So 3 and 4, 3 times 4 is 12, but 3 add 4 is 7, so that won't do it. 6 2s are 12, 6 add 2 is 8. So the figures that we're looking for are 6 and 2, okay, whereas when we started, first ones we tried was 3 times 4 is 12, that works, but 3 plus 4 is 7, so that doesn't work. Okay, so once we've got our two values, then we can just drop that straight in to our brackets. Okay, so we're going to have plus 6 plus 2. And you can check that's right by doing the same thing as we did up there. X times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, plus 6x is the 8x, and then 6 times 2 is 12. So we know that's right. Same thing with B. Two numbers that multiply to give 8 and add to give 6. Now this one's a bit more complicated because we've got the sign there. One's positive, one's negative. But first of all, let's work out. So we've got 8 and 1. 8 and 1 won't combine to give us 6. But we've got 4 and 2. Okay? So 4 times 2 is 8, which is good, and 4 add 2 is 6, which is good. But I need negative 6, and I need it to multiply to give positive 8. So if they were both negative, then that would give me minus times a minus is a plus, remember from the top of the page, so that would give me plus 8. And if I've got negative 4 and I'm going down another 2, I'll end up at negative 6. So that actually works. So what we need is x, take 4, x, negative 2. Check it. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 minus 2x, take away another 4x is minus 6x, and then you've got the minus times the minus to make the plus 8. And the final question there, we need to make 20, and we need to combine to give 8. So 5 4s are 20, that's not going to help because 5 and 4 aren't going to combine to make 8. 10 2s are 20, and 10 and 2 would add to make 12, but could subtract to make 8. So in order to make that work to give us positive 8, then that must be plus 10 take away 2. And if that was plus 10 and that was negative 2, they would combine to make minus 20. So I've established that the numbers I'm looking for, plus 10 and negative 2. Put them in your double brackets and check. X times x is x squared. 10 times x is 10x. Take away 2x is plus 8x. And then plus 10 times negative 2 is minus 20. Job done.